friends, this is Julio Alejandro again. I'm making this video because people always ask me if I moved to Mexico City, how would a neighborhood look like? What would be like my daily lifestyle, my activities, what are the main similarities and differences that I would have with another Canadian or probably European, North American city. So I just want to walk you and give you some tips and some recommendations. So if you ever decide to move here to Mexico City, you know more or less what is going on. So first thing I want to tell you, this is a medium upper class neighborhood. It is pretty safe in most of the things, and there's a lot of restaurants in here. It's something that you would notice instantly once you move to Mexico City. If you would walk here, let's say a couple of kilometers, you would find almost 60, 70 restaurants within a 2 miles range or something. You would get like a lot of Starbucks. There's a huge internationalization, or I should say Americanization of franchises, of the way that people act, talk, or have a cultural similarity. It was particularly noted by many people, especially Europeans, or especially people that have traveled a lot in the world, that has been going to Middle East, Africa. My friend Bogdan, Romanian guy, he said that it looks a lot like Mexico City. I'm sorry, like the States. There's another thing. It is very similar to LA. Because it's chaotic, it's violent, there's a huge traffic, and there's a lot of activities that you can see. So even if you've never been to Mexico or you're not planning to come, if you've ever been to LA, I would say it's the most similar thing that you would find. I could also say that even if I've never been there, it's very similar to Istanbul and to Cairo in that sense. Another thing that I wanted to tell you about, it's how if you're moving here, there are some things that you gotta keep in mind. Downtown, it's nothing similar to the European sense. Many times it's dirty, there's a lot of beggars or homeless, and most of international people, they actually stay somewhere between these three neighborhoods. That would be Coyoacán, where Frida Kahlo used to live and Leon Trotsky was killed. Condesa, that is also Roma and the gay neighborhood, the Zona Rosa. Many young international students are living in there. You hear people all the time talking different languages, French, Italian, German, pretty much all languages in there. Another one that would be more like business oriented would be Polanco. That would be the equivalent of the 16th arrondissement in Paris, or the 5th Avenue in New York, something similar to that, or the Magnificent Mile in Chicago, if you ask me about it. Some other things that people ask me is it safe? The answer, pretty like in very, very few words, is yes, it is safe. There's not there's not a drug cartel that has a lot of power or that messes up in terms of violence with civilians. There are not. It is more organized, the economy, the way that it's created the city into services and manufacturing industry, meaning that you will not get any kind of agricultural farms, cows or chickens or anything related to that sense. And in general terms, as you can see in here, there are some children sliding down. You can see that there's a small train behind my back. You can see that there's a huge mall right in there, and there's a Christmas tree or something similar that you can take it in that sense. So the perceptions that you have about Mexico City or about Mexico as a whole, many times you have it because you've been to Central America and you think that it's something similar because nature is really wild in there, or because you met some people, Mexican immigrants that go work in the States, and they give you a different, most of the times, like a very, very different perception of how is the city. And I just think it's a very great place to come in here. That is the Mexican Louvre, like the museum. Remember that there's a pyramid, there's a couple of pyramids outside. It's the same thing in here. So thank you very much. December of 2013. Bye bye.